Well, hey, happy Aloha Friday from the land of where Aloha Friday originated from Hawaii. Adrian, who do we have as our guest today?
So our guest today is the Director of Growth for Keller Williams Luxury, and he holds a Master of Arts in Organization Management and a Bachelor of Arts in Communication. Attilio.
And who is? Oh, you can read the second part too.
Okay, he's also the team leader and CEO of Brady Sandahl Real Estate Group of Keller Williams Palm Springs that did over $200 million in sales last year. Please welcome our guest, Brady Sandahl.
And don't worry about that goof. We'll edit it out. No, we're not going to edit it out. It's going out. So Brady, welcome.
Aloha. It's great to be with you today. Happy Aloha Friday.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I want to compliment you on your coming from contribution because how we met you was you flew out to the big island of Hawaii and taught a class on how to dominate in the luxury market. And we got some really good nuggets.
And before that, though, he was at the Keller Williams Elite Week.
Yes.
That was amazing. We just took so many wonderful notes. So much.
That was such a great, both of those were great experiences. One was quite large and one was more intimate. And, I think when you have the opportunity to spend time with the two of you, you learn that you also have big servant hearts and come from contribution. So, of course, when you invited me to join you on Aloha Friday, it was obvious that I would say yes, because we want to make sure that we give back to the two of you because you keep giving day after day after day.
Whenever I'm teaching, I'm always curious, like, what is going to be the impact on the people receiving my information or in the audience? So I want to share with you from an audience perspective. I'll tell you that I call it my Bradyism. But anyway, it's and it really impacted me, and I've said it multiple times. Adrian will know what I'm talking about. It's like you said, I don't know if it was like where your happy place is, but you said where you're most happy, and you said at the table with people I love. And that really stuck.
I think as we age in our business or as we age in life, we realize that our time is valuable. Yeah. And we really do show up at a high level for work. And when it comes time to put on the family hat, that having those people that you care about the most at a table means the most. And candidly, there's something about food and beverage that brings people together in a typically non-confrontative style. Yes. And so I really do get recharged when I have the pleasure of sharing a meal with people that I care a lot about.
Yeah. And Adrian, you had a question?
Well, I just want to make a comment about, both of the trainings that you have done are very impactful. So much so that, after the Elite Week, we went out and we just got ourselves a $25 million listing. I just want to thank you for all of your coaching and support and help, through the Keller Williams brand that I don't think, we would not have been able to, to get there without all of this support.
Well, you're so kind. I think you would have been able to. I think we just gave you the permission to say, listen, you serve clientele at a really high level, and now you can take that service application and go to the $25 million listing level. And now that you've done that, you really have no other barriers to break through because you've realized that luxury is not a price point. There are no price limitations. It is an experience. Mm-hmm. And what works for a traditional price point can work for an ultra high net worth price point as well.
And you know what? I wanted to, let's see if I can pull it up here. I think I can, but I wanted to, we made a video and I wanted to just have it playing here while we're chatting so you can see our baller experience video. I'm gonna leave the music off so we can talk about it, but and we really saved money on the extras.
The actors.
Well, I think I'll just comment quickly that you look great in that particular property, and boy, look at that refreshing pool. Yeah. You've done something well. You've actually figured out that a piece of real estate at this price point is not that much different, but the lifestyle that goes with that real estate is what's so unique. And I think you've done a great job of realizing that consumers make a decision based on what they see, what they're going to hear from the video, and then how they feel about that experience. So my guess is that someone who wants to be in this type of lifestyle is naturally going to respond very well to this particular video.
Yeah. And it was fun doing that video and we did, we had a compliment. Adrian, what was the compliment we had when we did our event, our Twilight preview?
So we did a private event, which you, of course, were invited to, and unfortunately, you were just not in Hawaii at the time.
Right.
And but there was some agents that were visiting here from, I think it was like the Beverly Hills market.
Yeah.
And they came because they have a client that's looking. There was another property too that they were interested in, the 23 million. And they're like, wow, like you guys are doing this event the same way we do it in Beverly Hills. We just
in LA,
a very private, intentional group of people that were there, offering them aesthetics, the live music, and
I think Maseratis parked out front.
Yeah, I mean, what you've done is you've delivered a preview at the level that another luxury brand like Maserati or the Ritz-Carlton or Four Seasons would deliver it. Yeah. And that's really what makes you so great. And that's probably why consumers select you, is because they understand that the level of service you're going to offer them is equal to those types of luxury brands.
Well, and instead of us rattling off all the facts, you're the director of luxury for Keller Williams. Give us some key bullet points on what luxury sellers need to know about that.
Well, I think the most important thing is Keller Williams is the only brand that is in every major, medium, and small resort market. And why that's important to you as an owner / potential seller is the number one position you've got to think about is who is going to find a buyer for the property that you want to sell. And, clearly the two of you have a system in place where you know how to find buyers. And in this market, unlike the pandemic, that's the number one concern is, will there be a buyer for my property? The second thing that owners need to understand is that, in a matter of seconds, you can market a property throughout the Keller Williams network, which means 180,000 agents in 900 offices, 54 countries. I mean, that's a big bandwidth. And so you can have your property marketed through our Keller Williams network. Third is I think you need to realize, and I think you'll see that when you select, especially the two of you, the level of service that an owner will receive is similar to level of service they would get at another luxury brand like the Ritz-Carlton or Four Seasons. So it is about finding the buyer. It is about making sure that you're marketing the property to our database and delivering that level of service that, candidly, owners at that category are used to receiving. Now, from a fun note, I'll tell you the quantitative side. It may surprise an owner to learn that every single day, Keller Williams Luxury closes $255 million worth of luxury real estate every single calendar day. Wow. And 18% of the $100 billion we closed last year, 18% was a result of one Keller Williams agent referring their buyer to another Keller Williams agent to sell them something. So that global sales force means that 1 out of every 5 transactions in the US and Canada is represented by a Keller Williams agent. That, to me, speaks wonders and candidly may surprise some of our listeners that we are as big and as effective as we are at representing luxury clients and their properties.
Yeah.
So Brady, I think I've heard you say that Keller Williams sells more luxury properties than any other brands.
That's true. And I think we have to realize, we are the largest, right? We're the only brand in every major, medium, and small resort market. So the number and size puts us at a huge advantage. And really, I think why it's important, Adrian, is that most luxury consumers own more than one property. They may have, 5 million with you, and they may have 5 million with me in Palm Springs. They may have 5 million with our office in Aspen, or they may have 5 million in their market center in Seattle, but they've got money distributed, and they can have that monopoly exchanged, managed by a Keller Williams luxury agent. So they know the level of care and service will be the same regardless of who they select. Yep.
That's silly. You've lost your sound.
Sorry,
Oh,
I was
really?
on silent type. The House of Excellence is this is our Keller Williams site.
Yeah, that's our temporary, what we call interfacing site.
Yeah.
And we're going to be launching our new customer experience site shortly. But this particular one is just designed to help people understand the depth of our service standards, meaning that we are very clear on that the service experience for a luxury consumer should be exceptional. And we find an easy path for them to find an agent. Now, clearly, a listener is going to reach out to you when they want to represent a buyer or sell in Hawaii, but then they want to do something in Seattle. They really should still go to you. They should go to you and ask, hey, who in Seattle, Adrian, represents themselves the way that you do? Well, then clearly you're going to go to the network and find the right agent. And if anyone's looking for business opportunities in Palm Springs, clearly we would love the chance to earn your business.
Yeah. So tell us about Palm Springs. How long y'all been doing business there?
So Palm Springs is 2 hours east of LA, and it may surprise you that in a 45-minute drive, we have 9 cities. And for our golfing listeners, we have over 120 private golf course or public golf course communities. So it's big on golfing, it's big on swimming, it's big on hiking. And now we have a new beautiful arena for hockey. And in fact, Madonna's even coming.
Oh,
so
nice.
in that world, that's where we are. Now, we've been there producing the business for the last 19 years. In fact, next year will be our 20th year. We've had the pleasure of handling thousands of transactions, but more importantly, we have over 450 5-star reviews, which means customers love the way we serve them. And that's really what I'm most proud of, is that the level of service and care is exceptional. And that's really why I get to serve as Director of Growth, because we're taking what we do well in Palm Springs and we're inviting others to follow that same playbook so that all the customers can have that beautiful surprise and delight experience.
Adrian, you had a question?
Oh, I was just going to make a comment that we have something in common. Well, we've got a lot of things in common with you, Brady. But we also have about 450 5-star reviews. So
yeah, I saw that on the website. That's great. You've been really doing a great job of serving and capturing the feedback, because those third-party testimonials, that social proof, matters for people that have not been connected to you yet.
Yeah.
Very validating.
So here's my question for you, Brady. If I'm a luxury consumer, a luxury seller right now, and I'm looking for an agent, and what would be the top 3 questions that I, as a luxury seller, should be asking, or in the interview process of a luxury agent?
Yeah. How specifically, or what specifically do you do to find buyers for the listings that you list? What specifically do you do to find buyers? That's the number 1 question. Number 2 is, what is the experience like of showing the features of my property to a buyer going to be? In other words, how are you, or is that agent going to show the property to a buyer? And third is, what is the customer experience like? What are the words that your past or current customers use to describe the experience? Because really, it is about finding the buyer. Number 2, it's about figuring out the features to the buyer's needs. And third, delivering the experience along the way.
You hit the nail on the head, because Adrian and I, we have helped luxury buyers, and in doing so, we've been able to experience what these listing agents, the different levels of experience.
wide range.
What that was like.
In this market, if you are an owner thinking of being a seller in this market, there is a huge advantage of working with an agent who has experience working with buyers, because they've got a clear pulse on what the buyers are looking for. And they're very good at filtering out the needs of the client and matching those needs to what the market has. And if they don't have it on the open market, I guarantee you, a strong buyer's agent's going to find it.
Yeah. You
A
know,
listing agent may be very focused on kind of waiting for the consumer to show up, but a strong buyer's agent's going to go find the property for the buyer. That's how they're paid.
yeah. Here's what I know. The good agent that was really good at showing and telling the story of the home, for some miraculous reason, that's the home our buyer wanted to write an offer on. And I will tell you, our experience was all over the spectrum. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, literally they opened the door for us and just stood there, no story, no nothing, and have at it. Let me know if you have any questions.
Oh, I mean, that's the most awkward moment of like, they open the door and they'll say, well, here's the kitchen. Let me know if you have any questions. Generally speaking, someone that's going to spend $1 million or more can figure out where the kitchen is.
Yes.
Luxury clientele recognize that there is a lifestyle they're looking for. There's a story they want to be told, or there's a story they want to connect to. Yes. So we don't need to be telling too long of a story, but we're looking for the cues and the clues to figure out what the story may be. If a buyer says that I'm most interested in buying this property because I want to look at the ocean view, the kitchen may or may not be important.
Yes.
The story becomes, let me show you the view, let them see it, and then ask the question, is this the type of view you're hoping to enjoy every day? Remember, we may not like the ocean view, but they may like the ocean view. We may love to cook, but they don't even dine in the house, they dine out. It isn't about us, it's about what experience they want and how do we get them to visualize whether it's the right fit or we move on to the next one.
And then I just want to compliment you, Brady, on just the ability to ask the right questions at the right time to get them to, kind of move along and self-discover. And I know that's one of the things that you touched on both of your classes that you taught here in Hawaii, was that just how powerful the right questions can be.
Well, we're so sometimes focused on knowing what to say, and we sometimes have fear of not knowing everything we think we need to know. The reality is the number and level of questions we ask our client will determine if our client can win or not. Yeah. And when our client wins, then of course we would get paid. So we want to make sure that we're living in the present, listening to what they're saying, watching what they're doing, and then asking those questions to make sure that we're clear on what they want, so that we can help bring that to them faster with less pain.
All right, so turnabout's fun. You gave us the 3 questions the client should be asking the agent. Well, what are some good questions that the agent should be asking the seller?
Well, I think the most important thing is, clearly you're looking for me to bring a buyer to your property. What's the one thing you think I should focus on to bring that buyer to your front door? And what that does is it tells them that you really care about them and what their agenda is. And it allows them a pathway to say, I'm thinking about staging, or I'm thinking about digital marketing, or I'm thinking about whatever that is. Oftentimes owners will sit back and wait for you to say whatever that is, and we may miss that clue, right? Yeah. So ask them. And then secondly is, clearly you are used to a very good experience. What does a great experience look like for you? And figure out if you can fulfill that need and meet that expectation. And third is, would you like to put me to work today? Yes. Go for the close. Ask them if they're ready to sign the contract. Yeah. Don't say, well, let me come back tomorrow. No, are you ready to put me to work today so I can do that digital marketing to find the buyer that's going to walk through your front door?
Yeah. Adrian, I think we wrap it up with some
so Brady, we're coming to the end of our time together, unfortunately. But if there's anything more that we want to that you wanted to discuss, or that we should have asked you that we didn't, let's touch on that now before we wrap it up.
And/or what are you excited about?
Well, I think I'm most excited the fact that people are continuing to buy real estate every single day. And the market's very, very good. Now, the challenge is we haven't had enough inventory on the market for buyers to buy. And so don't think that the lack of inventory means a bad market. The lack of inventory means it's a tight market. And when it's a tight market, we've got to figure out how to solve that problem. Well, be clear on why a buyer is choosing to buy. And number two, be clear on how they know when it's time to buy. What's that cue and clue you need to look for? On the owner side, ask the question, if you had a chance to cash out of the property now, what would you do with that money? And how important is that to you? Because people sometimes forget they've got equity, and that equity may be kept in that property, or it may do something else for them. Bottom line is, ask questions of the people that are in front of you, because the number of questions you ask will determine if and when you can get them what they want and how often you're going to get paid.
All right. Well, Adrian.
Well, thank you so much, Brady, for being our guest. And we are looking forward to having you on our radio show as well. And thank you for all of your mentorship and coaching and all that you pour into us agents here in Hawaii and internationally. I know that you speak at the family reunion, at Mega Camp and masterminds. So thank you for all you do for our industry.
It truly is a pleasure. And as I've said to you before, thank you for showing up and actually putting the action into Hawaii. I think it's great. I'm proud of you both.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bring us out.